There is a specific difference and distinction between motivation and inspiration. Both of them are related to drive. They kind of are products of drive. Motivation is short-lived. Motivation shifts and changes. I personally have a what I call my 90-day rule. About every 90 days, the reason that we do things shifts a little bit. Now, who we are and what our character is and what our makeup is, that stays the same. However, my motivation to write is different now because of who I'm envisioning as the audience and what message I'm looking to convey. 90 days ago, I may have been working on a different project. So I'm thinking of a different audience and a different message I want to convey. When it comes to salespeople, leaders make the mistake of assuming that a salesperson's motivation is money. It is one of their motivations. It is not their only motivation. So the distinction in my mind between motivation and inspiration is that inspiration is that inner fire. Inspiration is something that can be influenced from the outside, but it cannot be inserted. We have got to be folks who have some internal fire in order for us to act on our motivations. So to me, drive is, it's kind of like a nuclear reactor that based on what we're experiencing, outside influences, we may turn or tone down every so often. However, to me, it's the wake up in the middle of the night question. If someone were to wake you up in the middle of the night and ask you what drives you, it's the same answer then as it is at 2:00 in the afternoon. It's the same answer then as it is on Saturday morning.
So when you drive a car, you could drive it in reverse, you could drive it forward, you could, accelerate, you could coast. It's movement. Read the screen I'm sharing right now.
I see it. Motivation is momentary. Inspiration can last a lifetime. Motivation comes from outside. Inspiration comes from inside. Motivation pushes you. Inspiration pulls you. I love that for a couple of reasons. Number one, you just said accelerate, coast. I use that as an analogy of how we train effectively, because it goes back to the nautical reference. I don't hit the throttle on the boat and just hold it at 5,000 RPM for the entire ride. I slowly increase and we get out to where I want to be, and then I slowly pull it back so we can just kind of glide. We don't want to be so conscious of the noise of the engine that we're missing what's going on. And yeah, again, pushing and pulling, that's the difference between power and force. When we are inspired, we feel powerful and we act from a position of power. We think, we operate, we speak, and we act from a position of power. Force says, I'm looking to make something happen that is about me influencing someone else, me forcing my ideas and my intentions on them. To me, the core DNA level beauty of bionic selling is that it puts the prospect before the sale. It is about the human connection. It is about being able to engage in a conversation with high integrity, with positive intention, and not being tied to the outcome. Drive is, I've played drums for over 50 years. And I can sit down at any moment and be in it, because that drive is, I'm going to hold the sticks the proper way. I'm going to adjust my posture so that I can have that flexibility to move and to accent and to bring out of these devices, these instruments, different tones at any given time.
Drive, in my opinion, is the perfect blend of internal and external forces creating momentum. Handwinds, tailwinds, I don't care. When somebody is driven, inspiration gets you to the forest, motivation helps you swing the axe.
Mm.
It's the pull and push at all times. Our internal purpose, that internal drive to do whatever we are built to do, coupled with our passion for doing it, is where our drive comes from.
No one ever told me you should go practice. I remember my father telling me I could not get over the fact that you were 10 years old and you would practice for 2 hours. No one would tell you to. By the time I was 14, I was practicing 4 hours a day. I was not out. I was not running around with the boys. I was not athletic in any way. So I would play and play and play.
Purpose is about the destination. Passion is about the ride. It's the boat. It doesn't matter where you're going. Your passion kicks in when you hit a certain speed because you don't have to be going anywhere.
Yes. That's so accurate. You have no idea.
But no, I do have every idea. You've talked about it. That's your passion.
Yeah.
It's not your purpose.
No. No, but it makes my face hurt when how much I smile when I think about it.
Drive is a combination of internal and external forces that you, as the seller, use as fuel. Drive is our fuel. What drives us to do something? What pulls us towards things and pushes us towards things?
It is the undrainable vessel.
It's almost like a sustainable, like a nuclear reactor.
Uh-huh. The only way it stops is when it is ultimately shut off.
You mean when we die?
Yeah.
Drive is our inner turbine.
My only hesitation about turbine is that something moves the turbine.
Mm-hmm. Internal and external forces, passion and purpose. Inspiration and motivation also move the turbine.
Don't they though? Yes, they do. For different reasons at different times. However, they're these intangibles, but there's movement, action, energy, and intent in both. There's movement, energy, action, and intent, both in inspiration and in motivation.
Drive is simple, but it's also one of the most important applications. It's almost like I look at drive like the formula is clear. With drive, I look at it like and I'm not a mechanic, but I think of like a piston or a cylinder and a piston, right?
Okay.
Very simple. Pump up, pump down. Just keep going in the speed and keep moving and keep that viscosity and everything else. You can generate that horsepower.
Specific motion, measurable results.
Very clean, very simple.
Robotic.
Yeah, to an extent, it's it's precision. It's very precise in its movement. But the formula, what I'm getting at, the actual mechanics of it are simple. So less of the movement or operation, but 2 parts, 3 parts, move, send. Like you said, purpose, focus, plan, execute. But it's also one of the core and most important when it comes to achieving the other applications. Because if you are not driven, if you are not able to...
No one can hand that to you. No one can teach it to you. No one can have a lengthy conversation with you over breakfast about how you need to be driven. I'm sorry. No one ever sat me down and said, you need to practice the drums more. I was 11 and 12 years old and practicing for 3 hours a day because I wanted to be able to play well. When I started my business and I did 60 outbound dials a day, every day like a machine. No one was sitting there tapping me on the shoulder. No one was promising me an income. No one was promising me the ability, the opportunity, the freedom, the thrill, the absolute heart-stopping fear of being in front of people and being paid a fee to teach them something that I thought I knew better than they did. I mean, here's the thing. At its core, you know what drive is? Balls.